Welcome to Hygge Halloween Week. Hi everyone, it is April from Getting Hygge with It. It is getting so close to Halloween and I decided that I wanted to do a whole week where I dedicate my suggestions to you to kind of creepy books. So I hope that you're excited about this. The idea is 666. I'll be recommending in this video 6 new creepy reads. They are brand new. All of them have been released in 2020. Usually the second half of 2020, I think. So I'm very excited to share them with you. I hope that you enjoy it. Let's dive in. The first book that I want to share with you today is Girls of Brackenhill by Kate Moretti. This is meant to be a very creepy book about a woman who goes back to this home that she stayed in over the summer. It's a grand estate, and she's going back there as an adult because her aunt has died tragically in a car accident. So she, and I think her fiance, goes with her. It's been like 17 years since she's been back. And she's nervous to go back because when she was last there, her sister went missing. And of course, when she gets back, strange things start happening, like she finds a human bone. Is it her sister's bone? We'll have to read it to find out. It sounds absolutely wonderful. I've heard very good things about this one. So gothic and eerie. That's the Girls of Brackenhill, and it just came out on September 22nd. Next is a creepy murder mystery. This is the start of a detective series that I am very excited about. This is The Silence of the White City. I think this came out in August, if I'm not mistaken. And this is translated from Spanish. So the premise of this one is a madman is essentially holding this town, Vitoria, hostage. He is going around and killing its citizens in very brutal ways, posing them in these super weird ways. And we follow an inspector who is going to this town to try and solve the murders, try to catch this killer. And when he's there, he finds out that this series of murders is very eerily similar to a series of murders that happened 20 years ago. It's meant to be amazing. And so that is The Silence of the White City. Next is Mexican Gothic. This is meant to be a very gothic story that is also, of course, very twisty, turny. This follows a woman who gets a letter, I believe, from her cousin who's recently married a man and moved away to this big home. And she gets a letter from her cousin saying, you need to come and get me. I need help. You need to help me. And so she goes quickly to this home. And when she gets there, she realizes that the house and the people within it are very unsettling. It sounds absolutely wonderful. I've only heard good things about this one. Literally, this is taken book 2 by storm, and it seems like everyone has loved it. I can't believe I still haven't read it. But that is Mexican Gothic. Next is a thriller about gentrification. This is When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. This came out in September, I think end of September. And this follows a girl named Sydney. She grew up in Brooklyn, and all of a sudden people, Black people in her neighborhood that she grew up with are moving out of the neighborhood, and all of these white people are moving in. And over the course of this book, you find that she has, started a kind of tour guide service for many of these white people so that they can get to know the neighborhood. But she realizes as it goes on that these people who had left might not have actually left of their own volition. They might not have moved. Are they still there somewhere? I don't know, but this is meant to be like Rear Window meets Get Out, and that is all I need to know when no one is watching. Sounds amazing. Next up, we have The Bass Rock by Evie Wild. I recently watched a video by Grace from GK Reads, who I love so much. She did an Autumn Reads video, and the way she was describing this sounded so scary. I didn't realize that this was going to be incredibly scary. Okay, so we follow 3 women of 3 different time periods. I think the main woman we follow is named Ruth. She is moving into a new home just after World War II, and she's trying to get settled, but apparently things are happening in her home that are incredibly spooky, almost ghost-like. And then we follow a woman years later named Viv, who goes back to this home that Ruth had stayed in, and she's actually cataloging it. I think she is related to Ruth in some way, and so she goes there and strange things start happening to her in this home. Not necessarily ghosty, but strange things nonetheless. And then we get snippets apparently of a woman in the 16th century. I want to say 16th century, it might be 15th, I'm not sure, but she is accused of a witch and is fleeing for her life. It just sounds amazing. This is Jen Campbell's most favorite book thus far that she's read this year, and if that doesn't sell you, I mean, I don't know what will. And last but not least, I want to recommend the Aosawa Murders. This is translated from Japanese. Now, I think this was actually released in Japan in 2005, and we're only getting it now in 2020. This follows a major murder. In one summer day in the 1970s, a party is held, and everyone dies at this party from poisoning except a blind daughter of the household. She doesn't die. Now the policemen discover that this man commits suicide, and everything points in the direction that he was the one who had poisoned everyone. Well, years later, like several decades later, they start looking into this murder again, and they start going, what about that girl that survived? Maybe she had something to do with it. It sounds really, really good, and twisty-turny, and kind of like a fun ride for people like you and I who enjoy creepy stories. So that's the Aosawa Murders. Okay, so those are all of the books that I wanted to share with you today. The next Hygge Halloween video is going to be thrillers set in autumn. I'll chat with you soon. Bye.